Hey friends, so we are continuing our journey through the chakras. Today's video is a little bit about the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is our second chakra. Remember we talked about the root chakra last time, so now we're in the second chakra, or the sacral chakra. So this is called Svati Sauna in Sanskrit, which roughly translates to like sacred dwelling place or one's own dwelling place. And this is about 3 to 4 inches below the belly button. So this is encompasses the entire like pelvic bowl, and governs our reproductive organs, our colon, all the things that are happening in the pelvic bowl here. So like I said, this is the second chakra, the sacral chakra. So as we continue our journey, you remember last time we talked about kind of how we evolve or develop through the chakras as we get older. So whereas the root chakra was kind of those first 8 or 9 years of life, the sacral chakra is generally between like age like 8 and like 14 or 15. So this kind of coming into puberty, and those first few teenage years are where we typically do a lot of development in our sacral chakra. So yeah, where to begin? The sacral chakra is one of my all-time favorites, especially because I work with so many women with, sexuality and really embodying their feminine. So as you can imagine here, getting those clues of, okay, we're developing through our puberty years and teen years, and it governs the reproductive organs. So the sacral chakra themes are sexuality, sensuality, pleasure and joy and creativity. So those two things go hand in hand, right? So sexuality and creativity, we really can't have one without the other, especially when you think about just kind of the energetic components, right? If we're reproductive organs, we're creating new life, whether you're literally creating new life or not. This is a really important center of power, particularly for women, but for everybody who wants to get the most juicy pleasure out of life as possible. It's really important to work with the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra is, the color of it is orange, and is ruled by the element of water. So thinking about, again, like orange is a really bright and vibrant color. And then water, of course, the element of flow, that creative flow, as well as just that sexual flow. You have to have that water element for a variety of reasons. But yeah, so sacral chakra, second chakra, sexuality, creativity, joy, pleasure, intimate connections with others, and then creativity all reside here. Like I said, this is one of my favorite chakras, especially because I see it. I see issues with this chakra come up a lot. Whether it's through doing Reiki and energy readings, or just kind of coaching with clients and looking at the physical issues here, working with libido and sex drive, as well as the hormonal cycles and fertility. And like I said, and I love the Sanskrit word, the Svati Sauna, for this chakra, like one's own dwelling place. Because I focus a lot on embodiment in my practice, and I really feel like the sacral chakra is so important. It kind of creates this, almost this home, and is kind of considered to be the seat of the feminine. So this is the sacred feminine, where it the home of it in the body. So again, we're developing through this chakra between like ages like 8 and 14-ish, somewhere in there. And so this is where we develop a lot of our beliefs around sex and sexuality and our bodies and what our bodies look like. And of course, starting to develop or experience desires. And often too, when kind of the creative self or the creative mind starts to kind of like take more shape and have more form. There's a lot of emotion to this chakra, as you could imagine, being the water element. Water is all about the emotional self, the emotional body, and love and romance too. That's obviously there's a little heart chakra component too, but a lot of that is, especially this period of our lifetime, is a lot of very intense emotions and desires, whether it's directed towards somebody else or just kind of an inner sensation or things like that. This is really key to be mindful of and to work with. So like I said, I see a lot of issues or blocks when it comes to the sacral chakra when I'm doing my work with women, because we tend to carry a lot of stuff here. We tend to hold trauma here and take on energy or beliefs or whatever from our intimate partners and are often held here. So that's one of the reasons why I work with things like yoni eggs and the de-armoring wands so much in my practice, because those can directly help to influence and heal the energy of the sacral chakra, because there's blocks or stuck energy here often that are preventing us from being our fullest, most vibrant selves. Because I really believe that we have coming to earth school here, like pleasure and joy is our birthright. Like these are things that we've come here already deserving, and I think it's key to living a good life. Yes, get your root chakra needs met first, but then don't neglect those sacral chakra needs, that finding the beauty and the joy and the pleasure and this is sexual and non-sexual pleasure in all aspects of life. It's really important. So okay, so yeah, color is orange. Water element is associated with the note of D if you're doing sound healing. And that kind of, I guess, brings me to my next point, which is kind of all the tools and tricks that you can use with the sacral chakra. And I do go into much more depth in my ebook, Self-Care and the Chakras, so you can snag a download of that. I'll leave a link below. So some of the crystals that we can use for the sacral chakra, as you can imagine, a lot of them are orange. My favorite is probably carnelian. I use that one a lot. Things like orange calcite. I love tiger's eye. I'm actually wearing tiger's eye earrings for this video, because that's a really powerful, sensual stone. So again, if you find crystals and stones that are kind of that orangish color or darker orange, gold, those are probably going to be good for the sacral chakra. And so essential oils, like I mentioned in my root chakra video, I really love working with essential oils. They're probably one of my favorite tools just for healing in general, but definitely for the chakras. So I do, again, have my blends, chakra blends, made up of my top 5 oils for each of the chakras already ready to go, because again, I couldn't find any out there that I really liked. So I made my own. This is the Aromatherapy Mist here for the sacral chakra. So in this one, it has sandalwood, ylang ylang, bergamot, cardamom, and rose. So, I mean, just like reading those off is like, ooh, yeah, they're very they're beautiful, they're sensual oils. I often use this one as perfume just because it smells so good with that like sandalwood and bergamot and rose and stuff in there. So it's a warming, opening oil blend that just kind of gets things flowing again. Yeah, so those are my top 5 oils for the sacral chakra. When it comes to like foods and herbs, a lot of the foods are fruits, to be honest. A lot of fruits are in the category of opening and awakening the sacral chakra, mostly because of they're sweet and they're water rich. So these are kind of the 2 aspects you want to look for sacral chakra foods. Especially like melons and mangoes and papayas and, you know, strawberries and all these things that are just really sweet and moistening to the body. They're very watery foods. And as far as the herbs go, a lot of these are going to be our warming spices. So like cardamom, vanilla, rose, well, I guess rose technically isn't a spice, but cinnamon, these kind of things that are they just awaken the senses. So the sacral chakra is a very sensual chakra. So when we're talking about food, right, we're bringing in the sense of smell and taste, awakening those senses too. You know, as far as like yoga, I don't know that I mentioned these in my root chakra video, but I do mention them in my book, all the yoga poses. As you can imagine, a lot of hip openers here for the sacral chakra, because this is all about that part of the body, the pelvic bowl, the hips. We tend to hold a lot of stuff here, so deep hip openers and stretches, things like goddess pose is great. Yeah, and obviously color therapy with shades of orange is great too. So those are kind of my easier to access sacral chakra tools. Again, if you want more, you can check out my book. But yeah, I could go on a lot about sacral chakra, so I'm like kind of trying to think my way through this video of like what can I share without overwhelming you all. I hope this was helpful. Give you just a little overview of the sacral chakra, the second chakra. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you have questions about the sacral chakra, or especially how it relates to, you know, healing sexuality, drop me a comment below and I'm happy to help. So stay tuned. I'll be continuing my journey through each of the chakras here soon, and of course sharing lots other health and spirituality videos to come. So in the meantime, everyone, take good care and I'll see you later. Bye.